What's going on, guys? Today I just want to bring a quick little tip when it comes to going about getting that Legends badge. When you're going for that top 100 Legends time, and every single second matters. Now, today's tip is not really meant to make or break your run. It's really more along the lines of just one of those small optimizations that you can do to hopefully save a few seconds here and there. And if you could find 10, 15, 20 of these little small optimizations, that's when you're going to really get that advantage over the competition and save yourself some minutes, and then it could be the difference between getting the top 100 Legends time and missing out. So today's tip has to do with energy refills and how you go about getting and using them. So, of course, everyone starts out with 10 in their inventory, and if you're doing the monthly event quest, you're going to need about 40 of these things in total. So you're going to need to find a way to get 30 more of these things. If you're doing a celebrity challenge run, then those only take, roughly like 2 or 3 energy refills, so it doesn't really apply in that case. Only talking about cases where you need, the usual about 40 energy refills to get it done. So, of course, everyone starts out with 10, but then you have to find a way to get those next 30. And there are usually 2 different ways that people go about this. Either you are the type of person that just clicks to buy another energy refill every time you run out, which doesn't really take that much time. It only takes about a second each time you do it, but sometimes the server has a little bit of lag or something like that. It could stutter on that screen for a little bit. You get that little spinning icon that during a Legends run, even if it's only there for a second, you're like, come on, man! So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but ultimately doesn't really cost you that much time, right? The other way that people go about getting the energy refills in their inventory is, this is more common if you bought them from like a special energy bundle or something like that that's going to save you units. They'll go to the main screen, the home screen, and then they'll click on their stash, click claim max on their items, and then go back to the fight, and they're done. Again, it really doesn't take that much time, and at least you'll have all 10 in your inventory. You don't have to go through the processing of each time you buy one. So they're both, I'm not even sure exactly which one's faster. Typically in the past Actually, I think I've done both. I think I've done the way to save units by buying like special bundles or something like that, or if I got them from battle chips or something, and I've also done them just from buying them one at a time. I'm not sure if there's a time savings there either way. But where I do think there is a little bit of time savings is instead of going to your stash to collect them, if you go to your mailbox, since you don't need to leave the screen, you just click on the mail button, click on whatever mail is sent over to you, claim the 10, close out, and go back to the fight. Ultimately, I think that's going to be slightly faster than if you were to buy the energy refills one at a time. So that's what I'm going to be doing for my Act 5 Legends run. I'm going to be, basically, after I use the 10th energy refill, I'll do the next fight, just so it doesn't take me out of the flow of doing the fights. But before I run out of energy, and before I get to that screen where I'm going to need to use that energy refill, I'm going to go to my mailbox, I'm going to claim 10. I only have, all 3 of these are just 10 energy refills at a time from different people, because of course you don't want more than 10, otherwise they're going to go into your overflow. And hopefully, like I said, it's not going to make or break my run, but it's just one of these small optimizations that could potentially save me, roughly like 30 seconds over the course of the run, where, each time I'd be buying those energy refills, and, I'm not going to have to go through that little bit of processing. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the tip, guys. I do have a lot of other little optimizations, and maybe I'll make future videos about each one of those that can, maybe make a full guide about all the little different things, but for now, the reason why I showed you that is just because I have to explain something else. So if you're here just for the tip, you're done. You could leave the video and everything, but the other reason I'm making this video is because people know that I don't accept gifts on this account, right? I don't accept any kind of gifts. It is completely free-to-play account, which means, if I was getting gifted things, that would kind of hurt that whole free-to-play project thing, right? So the way that I'm okay with being sent this stuff is if I do some kind of a trade, and I'm doing the trade so that these people get all of their units back. It's like a one-for-one trade, and in fact, I'm sweetening the deal for these people that they're likely going to make more units than what they're spending, which means, unfortunately, I'm also going to be missing out on some units. It's not the biggest deal, but what I'm going to be doing is, we've got some pretty steep donations in for Loki. We got to donate 67,500 battle chips. So I'm going to be doing that for myself. Do that right now. 67,500. Right, hit the donate button. And then there are two different people that sent me over these energy refills: Mo Battle Chips and Crash and Burn 69. So I'm going to be donating for them, basically. Let me just make sure I got this right. Yeah, 67,500. So here's the donations for Battle Chips, and here's the donations for Crash and Burn. Now, this is not enough to cover the cost of what they sent over. So essentially, yeah, I have to do this more than just one time. You know, I figured the most fair way to do this is for every 10 energy refills that are sent over, that costs 300 units. And basically, I'll be donating 200,000 battle chips in total for these people, just spread across the weeks that they have to donate, just so that's easy to keep track of. And 200,000 battle chips, that will actually give, on average, 360 units, because every roughly 100,000 battle chips that you spend on arena crystals, you get about 180 units back. It's not always the case. Of course, sometimes you just get gold, and it feels pretty bad, but then sometimes you get like 200 plus units as well, right? So I'm donating for them as more of on the conservative side. This way, if they get unlucky, you know, they're still going to be making all their units back for something like this. And in addition, they're also going to be getting all of that gold that they get to, you know, when they pop open their crystals instead of using those battle ships to donate. There was a lot of people that jumped on this deal. It was not just these two, or people that wanted to at least. But ultimately, you know, I only needed a few items. So yeah, I'm going to be donating quite a hefty amount of battle chips for the next few weeks until all of that trade is complete. But I have a bunch of battle chips up here. It's certainly not, you know, I'm certainly not accepting these items just because I need the, you know, I need to save the units or something like that. I've got almost 8,000 units, and by the time my run hits this Saturday, yeah, I'm likely going to have about 8,500 units or something like that. Now, I consider doing this for other items as well, like potions. You know, if I had somebody send over, you know, a batch of 25 potions. But I think it's a little bit different when it comes to the actual items they're using. Let me see if I could do this in Quest real quick. I don't think it's going to save me as much time. I don't think it's going to be worth it. I can't hit the heal button. All right, let me do a fight, and then I'll show you. All right, now that I did a fight and took some damage, let's take a look at the potion menu. So potions, they're a little bit different than energy refills. Energy refills, you could only buy them one at a time if you're in the actual quest, which again, it's really where the time savings comes from, is doing that processing over and over 30 times throughout the run instead of just doing it like the one time they're claiming from the mailbox. So I really don't want to do that. But with potions, it's a little bit different. You could either just buy them, you know, multiple at a time by clicking on the plus sign, or you could just click on the number itself the same way you can with donations, and, you know, just input, you know, 25 if you want to buy the maximum amount. Click done, and boom, you've got your 25. It is going to process that one time, but you're not processing for every single potion that you're buying. You know, same thing with the revives. You could do the same thing there. Hopefully, you know, I don't think I'm going to need to buy any revives anyway, because if I die, you know, I've got 15 of each of the individual revives. You know, the 20%, 40%, even the 60%. So if I go beyond that, you know, the Legends race, it's probably over anyway if I died that many times. Potions, I'm actually going to need quite a few of these things. And I will be buying the level 5 health potions. Unfortunately, I let one slip by in the overflow. I had one in the overflow. I did a quest, and I was like, oh, I've got it in the overflow. I might as well use it, right? I used it, forgot to claim it from the stash, and it expired on me. So that was a little bit painful. But, oh, well, that's to use it, not to buy it. Never mind. But yeah, I'll buy a 25th one of those, and then throughout the run, you're going to see me dumping a fair amount of units into those things. But, you know, like I said, it's not going to cost me 8,000 units worth of potions, especially taking a look at, you know, the other people that did these Legends races on YouTube before me. But that's it for my little tip here when it comes to how to most optimally gain these energy refills, at least in my opinion. If you're not doing the whole free-to-play thing, then you could figure out some other kind of trade to do with somebody. Maybe you swap 10 energy refills back their way or something along those lines. Chances are, if you're in an active alliance, you're not going to have too hard of a time finding someone to trade with anyway. But that's it for this one. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.